Beyond the Wall, Simple Steps to Overcoming Any Challenge. Chapter 1. The Walls We Build. Life is a journey, and along this path, we often encounter what feel like big, strong walls. These aren't physical barriers made of bricks and mortar, but rather the challenges, obstacles, and difficulties that stand in our way. They can take many forms. Perhaps it's a particularly tough subject at school that makes you feel confused and frustrated, or a disagreement with a close friend that leaves you feeling hurt and isolated. It might be the daunting prospect of starting a new job that seems overwhelming, or even a personal habit you desperately want to change but find incredibly difficult to break. When these walls appear, it's a very natural reaction to feel small, insignificant, and utterly stuck. Thoughts like, "I can't possibly do this," or "this challenge is simply too enormous for me to handle," often creep into our minds. We might feel a sense of fear, a reluctance to even try, because the wall seems so impenetrable. However, it's crucial to remember that these walls, no matter how imposing or insurmountable they appear at first glance, are not designed to stop us permanently. Instead, they are an inherent and often valuable part of our personal growth and development. They are opportunities disguised as difficulties. This book is dedicated to helping you understand these challenges, to look at them not as dead ends, but as puzzles to solve. We will explore simple, actionable steps that can help you navigate around, climb over, or even break through these walls, one manageable piece at a time. It's about shifting your perspective and equipping yourself with the tools to keep moving forward. Chapter 2. Seeing the Wall Clearly. When a challenge looms large and indistinct, like a blurry, shadowy wall, it becomes incredibly difficult to figure out where to even begin. The very first and most crucial step in overcoming any obstacle is to gain absolute clarity about what you're facing. What exactly is the problem? Is it truly as massive and all-encompassing as your initial feelings suggest, or are some parts of it merely exaggerations or fears casting long shadows? Let's take an example. If you're struggling with a particular school subject, is it the entire subject that's causing you trouble, or is it just a specific type of problem within that subject, like algebra and math or essay writing in English? If you're experiencing a conflict with a friend, try to pinpoint the exact moment or issue that caused the rift. What was said or done? What's the core of the disagreement? Taking the time to truly examine the challenge, to dissect it and break it down into its smallest, most definable components in your mind, can dramatically reduce its overwhelming nature. It's often helpful to write it down. Jotting notes, drawing diagrams, or even just listing bullet points can help bring abstract fears into concrete, manageable details. The more precise and clear your understanding of the wall, the easier it becomes to identify potential weak spots, alternative routes, or even direct paths to move past it. Clarity transforms an intimidating monolith into a series of smaller, solvable puzzles. Chapter 3. It's okay to feel stuck. Facing a significant challenge can trigger a wide range of intense emotions. It's common to experience deep frustration when progress seems impossible, sadness over what might be lost, anger at the situation or even at yourself, or a paralyzing fear of failure. Sometimes the feeling is simply one of being utterly stuck, as if your feet are glued to the ground and movement is impossible. It's absolutely vital to internalize and accept that these feelings are not only normal, but also universally experienced. Every single person, no matter how successful or resilient they appear, has felt these emotions when confronted with their own walls. The mistake many people make is trying to suppress these feelings, to push them away, or to pretend they don't exist. This often makes them stronger, like a beach ball held underwater. Instead, the healthier approach is to acknowledge them. Say to yourself, perhaps even out loud, "Okay, I'm feeling stuck right now, and that is completely all right." Giving yourself this permission to feel your emotions without judgment or self-criticism can actually be the first step towards moving through them. Once you accept how you feel, you create space to then shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on what you can't do, your mind becomes freer to explore what you can do, even if it's just a tiny action. This acceptance is a powerful act of self-compassion that unlocks your ability to seek solutions. Chapter 4. One brick at a time. Imagine standing before a truly enormous brick wall, towering above you, seemingly stretching endlessly in both directions. The thought of trying to demolish this entire structure all at once would be not just daunting, but frankly, impossible. Your energy would be wasted, and you'd likely give up before you even began. But what if you shifted your focus? What if you concentrated on removing just one single brick? And then, once that brick was gone, you focused on the next, and then the next? This analogy perfectly illustrates the most effective strategy for tackling even the most formidable challenges. The key is to break your wall down into the smallest, most manageable bricks possible. If your overarching challenge is to write a lengthy and complex report, the initial brick might be something as simple as open a blank document on your computer. The next could be type out the title of the report. If your goal is to achieve a significant fitness milestone, the first brick might be walk for just 10 minutes today. These individual steps might appear incredibly tiny, almost insignificant on their own. However, their cumulative power is immense. Each brick you successfully remove or place represent a small but tangible victory. These small wins build momentum and, more importantly, they build your confidence. Before you know it, as you consistently chip away at these bricks, you'll begin to notice the wall visibly shrinking or a clear path emerging through it, leading you closer to your ultimate goal. Chapter 5. Your inner strength. Within each and every one of us resides a remarkable, often underestimated, quiet power, our inner strength. This isn't a loud, boastful force, but rather a deep reservoir of resilience, determination, and courage that allows us to persevere even when circumstances are incredibly difficult. It's the part of you that refuses to give up, that pushes you forward when every fiber of your being wants to quit. To truly tap into this strength, take a moment to reflect on your past experiences. Think back to times when you faced something genuinely tough and, against the odds, managed to navigate your way through it. Perhaps you mastered a complex new skill that once seemed impossible, or you successfully resolved a tricky problem that had been causing you significant stress. That unwavering spirit, that ability to keep pushing, was your inner strength actively at work. Unfortunately, when a new, imposing wall appears, it's all too easy to forget about this inherent power. We get caught up in the immediate difficulty and lose sight of our past triumphs. So, consciously take a moment to recall what you've already overcome. Remind yourself of your past successes, big or small. Cultivate the belief that you possess the necessary fortitude and capabilities to face this new challenge too. Your inner strength is not something you need to acquire. It's like a hidden, perfectly sharpened tool, always present within you, ready for you to access and utilize precisely when you need it most. Chapter 6. Learning from the past. Our personal history is a rich tapestry woven with both moments of triumph and periods of struggle. When you find yourself confronted with a new and daunting challenge, it's incredibly valuable to look back at your past experiences. Ask yourself, have I encountered anything even remotely similar to this before? What actions did I take then? More importantly, what strategies or approaches proved effective, and which ones clearly did not yield the desired results? For instance, if you're grappling with a demanding academic task, recall how you prepared for previous difficult tests or assignments. Did a particular study method, like creating flashcards or forming a study group, help you succeed? If you're navigating a complex interpersonal conflict, think about past disagreements. Was there a specific way of communicating, perhaps active listening or expressing your feelings calmly, that helped you sort things out effectively? Even experiences where you didn't succeed, where you failed, hold invaluable lessons. These moments are not failures in the true sense, but rather opportunities for profound learning. What did you have done differently in that situation? What insights did you gain from the less than ideal outcome? Your past experiences, both good and bad, serve as a personal map. They can illuminate paths that are more likely to lead to success and, equally important, highlight routes that you should probably avoid this time around. Use this personal history as a guide, refining your approach with each new challenge. Chapter 7. The Power of Small Steps. We've discussed the concept of breaking down a massive wall into individual bricks. Now, let's delve deeper into the profound power of taking just one small step. When a challenge feels overwhelmingly large, the sheer thought of having to accomplish everything can be paralyzing, stopping us dead in our tracks before we even begin. The pressure to do it all perfectly and immediately can be too much. However, consider this alternative. What if you focused all your energy and attention solely on the very first, most minuscule step you can possibly take? Don't allow your mind to wander to step 2 or 3 or the entire daunting sequence of tasks. Your only concern should be to complete step 1. If your ultimate goal is to thoroughly clean and organize your entire room, perhaps step 1 is simply pick up one item from the floor and put it away. If you aspire to learn a completely new and complex skill, step 1 might be read just one page of the introductory textbook. These initial steps might seem incredibly tiny, almost insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Yet, they are incredibly powerful because they immediately create momentum. They shift you from a state of inaction to one of active engagement. Each completed small step also builds your confidence, reinforcing the belief that you are capable of progress. And before you truly realize it, those seemingly insignificant tiny steps will have accumulated, carrying you a remarkable distance, much further than you initially believed was possible. The journey of 1,000 miles truly begins with a single, deliberate step. Chapter 8. Asking for help. There's a common misconception that to be strong, we must face every single wall in our lives entirely alone. We might feel a sense of shame or weakness in admitting we need assistance. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Asking for help is, in fact, a profound indicator of strength, self-awareness, and wisdom, not a sign of weakness. It demonstrates that you understand your limits and are resourceful enough to seek out the support you need. Take a moment to consider who in your life might be in a position to offer assistance. This could be a trusted friend who offers emotional support, a family member who has navigated similar challenges, a teacher or professor who possesses expert knowledge, a mentor who can provide guidance based on their experience, or even a professional, such as a therapist or coach, who can offer specialized strategies. These individuals might have direct experience with a similar wall, providing invaluable insights, or they might simply offer a completely fresh and objective perspective that you hadn't considered. They can provide practical advice, lend a helping hand, offer emotional encouragement, or simply be a non-judgmental listener. Don't let pride or fear hold you back from reaching out. The vast majority of people are genuinely happy to help when asked, and very often, a new viewpoint or a supportive hand is precisely what you require to break free from feeling stuck and to begin moving forward again. Chapter 9. Changing your view. The way we perceive and interpret a challenge has an enormous impact on our ability to overcome it. Our perspective can truly change everything. Is the wall you're facing an insurmountable problem, a crushing burden, or could it perhaps be an opportunity in disguise? This subtle but powerful shift in thinking can unlock new possibilities. For example, losing a job is undoubtedly a significant challenge, bringing with it financial stress and emotional uncertainty. However, viewed through a different lens, it could also be an unexpected opportunity to explore a new career path, pursue a long-held passion, or find a job that aligns even more closely with your values and desires. A difficult conversation with a loved one, while uncomfortable, could be a crucial chance to deepen understanding, strengthen communication, and ultimately forge a more resilient relationship. Actively try to reframe the challenge in your mind. Instead of allowing thoughts like, "This is absolutely impossible, I'll never get through this," to dominate, consciously replace them with questions like, "How can I possibly make this achievable?" Or, "What creative solutions can I find here?" Instead of lamenting, "This is a complete disaster," Ask yourself, what valuable lessons can I extract from this situation? Changing your view doesn't magically make the wall disappear, nor does it diminish the difficulty of the task. What it does, however, is transform the wall from an intimidating barrier into something that feels less daunting, more manageable, and ultimately, more like a puzzle you are capable of solving and working with. Chapter 10. Embracing Failure. The word failure often carries a heavy negative connotation. No one actively seeks to fail, and the experience can feel incredibly disheartening, like hitting the wall head-on with painful force. We might feel embarrassed, frustrated, or even defeated. However, it's a fundamental truth that failure is not the end. It is merely a stepping stone on the path to success. In fact, it's an absolutely essential component of learning and growth. Every single time you attempt something and it doesn't work out as planned, you gain invaluable knowledge. You learn precisely what not to do the next time. Consider the process of a scientist conducting an experiment. If their initial hypothesis doesn't prove correct, they don't simply abandon their research. Instead, they analyze the results, understand why it didn't work, and then adjust their approach to try something different. This iterative process of trying, failing, learning, and refining is how breakthroughs are made. So, if you fail at something, resist the urge to engage in self-criticism or to beat yourself up. Instead, adopt a curious and analytical mindset. Ask yourself, what specific lessons did I learn from this experience? And what adjustments or different strategies can I implement next time? When you consciously embrace these moments as learning opportunities, rather than personal shortcomings, they cease to be roadblocks and instead become powerful catalysts that make you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for your subsequent attempts. Chapter 11. Staying Persistent. Overcoming any significant challenge is almost never a matter of a quick fix or an instant solution. It demands persistence, which is the unwavering commitment to continue working towards your goal even when the path becomes incredibly difficult, when you feel utterly exhausted, and especially when the urge to simply give up becomes overwhelming. It's the quiet, steady force that keeps you moving forward. Think of a river's journey to the sea. When it encounters a massive rock or a dense obstacle in its path, it doesn't simply cease to flow. Instead, the river finds a way. It flows gracefully around the obstacle, or it patiently carves its way over it. Or, given enough time, its continuous, gentle pressure slowly but surely wears the rock down. You need to cultivate that same kind of steady, continuous, and unyielding effort. There will undoubtedly be days, perhaps many of them, when you feel as though you are making absolutely no discernible progress. You might feel like you're running in place, or even moving backward. That's perfectly normal and part of the process. The crucial thing is to just keep taking those small steps we discussed earlier. Keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Persistence is not about brute force. It's about consistency and resilience. It is the quiet, relentless power that, over time, will inevitably wear down even the biggest and most formidable walls standing in your way. Chapter 12. Celebrating Wins, Big and Small. When you're deeply immersed in the process of tackling a large and complex challenge, it's incredibly easy to become solely focused on the ultimate end goal. You might think, I'll celebrate when I'm completely finished. However, it is absolutely paramount to consciously and deliberately celebrate your progress along the way, no matter how seemingly insignificant that progress might appear. Did you successfully complete that one brick you focused on for the day? Did you take that very first, tiny step that felt so daunting? Did you learn something new and valuable, even if it was just a small piece of information? Take a moment to acknowledge your effort and give yourself a genuine pat on the back. These small, consistent celebrations are not just feel-good moments. They are vital fuel for your journey. They serve as powerful reminders that you are indeed making tangible progress, that your efforts, no matter how minor, are meaningful and contributing to the larger objective. And most importantly, that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. Don't fall into the trap of waiting until you have completely demolished the entire wall to allow yourself to feel good about your hard work. Instead, cultivate a habit of recognizing and celebrating every single little victory along the path. These small celebrations accumulate, building momentum and sustaining your motivation for the long haul. Chapter 13. Building New Habits. To effectively overcome challenges, particularly those that involve making significant changes to our own behavior or lifestyle, the development of new habits is absolutely fundamental. A habit is essentially an action or behavior that you perform regularly and automatically, often without even needing to consciously think about it. It's something that becomes ingrained in your daily routine, requiring minimal willpower once established. If, for example, your challenge is to read more books, make it a consistent habit to read for just 10 minutes every single night before you go to bed. If you aspire to be more organized and reduce clutter, establish the habit of immediately putting things away in their designated place right after you use them, rather than letting them pile up. The key to successful habit formation is to start small and to be relentlessly consistent. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Choose one tiny, achievable action and commit to doing it daily. It takes time for a new action to become a true habit, often several weeks or even months of consistent effort. However, once that new behavior is ingrained, it makes the process of overcoming that particular wall significantly easier, almost effortless, because you're performing the necessary actions automatically, freeing up your mental energy for other challenges. Chapter 14. Dealing with Doubt. Doubt is a sneaky, insidious force. It's like a persistent, quiet voice in your head that whispers negative messages. You can't do it. You're not smart enough. This is too hard for you. This internal monologue can be incredibly damaging, making you question your own abilities, eroding your confidence, and making the wall you're facing seem even taller and more intimidating than it truly is. It's important to understand that everyone, without exception, experiences doubt. Even the most successful individuals grapple with moments of uncertainty. The crucial skill is not to eliminate doubt entirely, which is often impossible, but rather to learn how to manage it and prevent it from taking over. When that doubting voice begins to creep into your thoughts, consciously and deliberately remind yourself of your inherent inner strength, as discussed in Chapter 5, and all the small, incremental steps you've already successfully taken, as highlighted in Chapter 7. Actively talk back to that doubting voice with facts and positive self-talk. Counter its negativity with affirmations like, "I've successfully navigated difficult situations before," or "I am actively learning and steadily improving." Don't allow doubt to paralyze you or prevent you from even trying. Keep moving forward, even if you feel a little unsure or apprehensive. Action, even small action, is the most powerful antidote to doubt. Chapter 15. Finding Your Purpose. When facing a significant challenge, one of the most powerful motivators you can tap into is understanding your purpose, your why. Why are you dedicating your time, energy, and effort to overcoming this particular obstacle? What is the deeper, underlying reason that fuels your desire to push through the difficulty? Knowing this profound why can provide an incredible wellspring of motivation, especially when the going gets tough. For instance, if you're diligently studying long hours for a difficult exam, is it simply to pass? Or is it because you aspire to get into a specific university, or perhaps because you genuinely love the subject matter and want to deepen your knowledge? If you are working hard to mend a strained relationship, is it merely to avoid conflict? Or is it because that person holds immense value in your life and you cherish the connection you share? When the path becomes arduous, when setbacks occur, and when your motivation wanes, remembering your purpose, the core reason for your perseverance, can provide the necessary energy and unwavering determination to keep going. Your purpose acts like a powerful, guiding light, illuminating your path through the darkest and most challenging segments of your journey, ensuring you remain focused on what truly matters. Chapter 16. The Ripple Effect. Successfully overcoming a challenge is not merely a personal triumph. It creates a profound and far-reaching ripple effect. Your individual success doesn't just benefit you. It can inspire and positively influence those around you in ways you might not even realize. Imagine a stone dropped into a calm pond. The ripples spread outwards, touching everything in their path. Perhaps a friend or family member observes your perseverance and resilience as you push through a tough time, and this observation inspires them to face their own challenges with renewed courage. Your newly acquired skills, increased confidence, or refined problem-solving abilities might also spill over and benefit you in other, seemingly unrelated areas of your life. For example, if you successfully learn to manage your time more effectively to complete one demanding project, that enhanced time management skill can then be applied to every other task and responsibility you undertake. Every wall you conquer not only makes you individually stronger and more capable, but also generates a cascade of positive changes that extend beyond your immediate experience, touching other facets of your life and enriching the lives of those within your sphere of influence. Your personal victories contribute to a larger, positive transformation. Chapter 17, Beyond the Finish Line. What exactly happens once you have successfully navigated your way through a significant challenge and emerged victorious on the other side? Of course, there's an immediate and wonderful feeling of accomplishment, a sense of pride and relief that your hard work has paid off. But this moment is also a critical opportunity for something more profound: reflection. Don't just immediately rush off to the next task or challenge. Take a deliberate pause to truly appreciate how far you've come and what you've achieved. Ask yourself, what did I truly learn about myself during this process? What new skills, insights, or capabilities did I gain that I didn't possess before? How have I changed as a person through this experience? This period of reflection is not merely a pleasant indulgence. It's an essential step that helps you grow even more from the experience. By consciously analyzing your journey, you consolidate your learning, reinforce your new strengths, and better prepare yourself for any future challenges that may arise. Remember, the true value of getting past the wall isn't solely about reaching the other side. It's fundamentally about the stronger, wiser, and more capable person you become throughout the entire journey. Chapter 18, Helping Others Overcome. Once you have gained valuable experience in navigating your own personal walls and have developed effective strategies for overcoming challenges, you possess a rich store of wisdom to share. Your journey, your struggles, and your triumphs can become a beacon of hope and guidance for others who are currently facing their own difficulties. Look around you with an empathetic eye. Is there someone in your life, a friend, a family member, a colleague, or even someone you barely know, who appears to be struggling with a challenge that you have already successfully faced? Don't hesitate to offer your support. This doesn't necessarily mean providing all the answers or solving their problems for them. Sometimes, the most powerful form of help is simply offering a listening ear, allowing them to express their frustrations and fears without judgment. You can also share your own experiences, explaining what worked for you and what didn't. A word of encouragement, a simple affirmation of their capabilities, or just a reminder that they're not alone can make an immense difference to someone who feels stuck and overwhelmed. Helping others not only contributes positively to the world around you, but also serves to reinforce your own learning and reminds you of the strength and resilience you have cultivated within yourself. Chapter 19, Life is a Series of Walls. It's a crucial understanding that successfully overcoming one challenge, no matter how significant, does not mean that your life will suddenly become entirely challenge-free forever. Life is an ongoing, dynamic journey, and as such, new walls will inevitably continue to appear on your path. This is not a pessimistic outlook, but a realistic and empowering one. However, here lies the truly good news. With each and every wall you successfully overcome, you gain invaluable experience and insights. Each victory, big or small, teaches you more about your own capabilities and significantly builds your resilience, your ability to bounce back from adversity. You become increasingly adept at clearly identifying the nature of the wall, at breaking it down into manageable components, and at creatively finding your way through or around it. So, When a new challenge inevitably presents itself, instead of feeling a sense of defeat or despair, you can now approach it with a profound sense of readiness and confidence. You'll know that you possess a growing toolkit of strategies, an understanding of your own inner strength, and a proven ability to face and conquer whatever obstacles lie ahead. Each wall is not an ending, but a new chapter in your ongoing story of growth. Chapter 20. The journey continues. Your unstoppable path. Congratulations! You've journeyed through these pages, exploring the fundamental principles of navigating and overcoming life's inevitable challenges. You now understand that these walls aren't insurmountable roadblocks, but rather natural, even beneficial, parts of your unique path. You've discovered the critical importance of seeing challenges clearly, dissecting them into manageable pieces, and leveraging your inherent inner strength alongside the invaluable support of others to move steadily forward. You've also gained a powerful new perspective on setbacks, recognizing that failures aren't defeats, but profound lessons that propel you towards greater wisdom and resilience. You've learned the immense value of celebrating every small victory along the way, understanding that consistent, tiny steps accumulate into monumental progress. Remember this: your journey is one of continuous growth, learning, and self-discovery. Every single wall you encounter and successfully navigate isn't just an obstacle overcome. It's a profound opportunity to learn, to become stronger, more adaptable, and to uncover deeper aspects of who you truly are and what incredible things you are capable of achieving. So, embrace the path ahead with courage and conviction. Keep going, keep building your skills and resilience, and keep growing into the most powerful and authentic version of yourself. The journey beyond the wall is an ongoing adventure, brimming with possibilities, and you are now well-equipped, unstoppable, and ready for whatever it brings. Go forth and conquer,